Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Rohan Finvas. In my previous videos, I had explained how one can identify the trends and write the trend. In today's video, I'm going to cover how one can determine the strength of the trend. Most of the times you would see that the stock does go up and you will feel that it is in an uptrend and you buy the stock, you hold the stocks for some time, it doesn't move. In first station you sell it off and then it starts moving up, right? And at times you get stuck. Let's say if you're playing in futures or options, you keep buying the futures or options, but the stock doesn't move quickly and you lose money due to the theta decay, which is the time decay, right? Because if the price of the stock doesn't move as you expected, the price or the premium of the option would not go up, it will go down. That's called as theta decay, right? Hence, it is important for us to know the strength of the trend if we want to make money in the stock market. Today, we are going to learn how to determine the strength of the trend. And if one can identify the strength of the trend and add it to price action, then it becomes a foolproof strategy. I normally rely on price action, but at times I use some of the indicators to add confirmation. Now, why do I need confirmation? Because I want to increase my probability of winning in the trade, right? For instance, let's say if we identify that a stock is in an uptrend, that is, it is making higher highs and higher low combination. How do I know that this stock is going to continue its trend and for how long? And how strong is this trend? Will this trend fizzle out over here or over here? How can I determine that? We have an indicator called as ADX. This is known as Average Directional Index. You can read a lot of articles on Google to know how this ADX is computed, but in simple terms, this doesn't tell us the direction of the trend. It tells how strong the trend is. So you need to first identify the trend and then look at ADX to know how strong the trend is. It doesn't tell you whether the stock is in an uptrend or a downtrend or a sideways trend. But with the help of price action combined with ADX, we can tell how strong the trend is and what trend the stock is in, right? This ADX is computed based on the moving averages over a period of time. Generally, 14 days period is considered, and the values of ADX oscillate between 0 to 100. So as you can see over here, the price is making higher highs and higher lows. And if we see that the ADX line is going up, then we can say that the stock is in a trend and the trend strength is visible. Now, how can we quantify that? Generally, I consider value of 25 and see if the ADX value is going about 25 or not. If ADX value is going about 25, that means the trend has begun. And as ADX goes up or rises, the trend becomes stronger and stronger. So the ADX value of 30 or ADX value of 40 would make the strong trend. And you would have seen some stocks going up every day for some time. The reason for that is the ADX value is suggesting that the stock is in a very, very strong trend. Sometimes these ADX values go all the way up to 80 or even 90. But there is a peak after which the trend dries up. So for instance, let's say in the same, for instance, in the same condition, let's say if this was a 60 zone of ADX and the price has made a higher high and higher low combination, and when the ADX starts going down, the price also starts going down. The reason for this is ADX is suggesting that the trend has come to a halt. ADX is a lagging indicator. It doesn't tell us before the start of the trend, but it generally tells us how strong the trend is based on the values. And we can also apply this ADX if the stock is in downtrend. For instance, if the stock is making lower lows and lower highs, we can check if ADX is rising, and if ADX goes about 25, the trend becomes stronger and you will see quick movement in the stock. There are times when the stock goes up and again goes down and it stays in a range, and we call it as sideways movement or a range bound movement. How we can identify that the stock is going to be in a range bound movement? Again, with the help of an ADX value. If the ADX value is below 25, then I generally do not take any trade in this stock because I know that I'm going to lose the money. If any stock has a value of ADX below 25, and if my view is very short term, then I do not take any trade in the same in the stock, because I know that the stock will stay in a range or a sideways movement. This is how I determine the strength of the stock. Now let's look at some examples. You can see over here, this is Nifty's daily chart, and you can see that Nifty was in an uptrend from here till here, right? And if you look at the ADX value, ADX started rising. It went about 25 on 4th of May 2023, and from there it went all the way up to 50. And after hitting 50, you can see that the ADX value started going down, and as the ADX value started going down, the price also followed. The price has fallen from around 20,000 level to currently 19,300 odd levels. We can clearly gauge the strength of the trend based on ADX, and ADX is currently suggesting that Nifty will be in a sideways or a range bound movement. So I don't expect huge uptrend or huge downtrend as long as Nifty is below 25. I hope you will use this ADX as just yet another tool for increasing your probability of winning in the trend. Don't base your decision only on ADX. I strongly suggest you to follow the simple price action and then add ADX to your toolbox in order to increase the odds of winning. I hope you found this video informative. Thanks for watching.